नमस्कार दोस्तों। आज हम सेकेंड यूनिट के थर्ड चैप्टर के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे, दैट इज़ डिस्टिलेशन एंड इट्स बेसिक प्रिंसिपल। Distillation. Okay. Now, what is distillation? From the definition, it is a separation of components of a liquid mixture by process involving vaporization and subsequent condensation at another place. So, from the definition, it is evident that distillation is a two-step process. That means, in first step separation of constituents takes place, constituents of a mixture, including by partial liquid vaporization of the mixture, and separate this liquid mixture, and finally collects the vapor into another container. This vapor is passed through the condenser, and from condenser it is collected into the receiver. Such separation it includes one liquid from non-volatile impurities, one liquid from one or more liquids, such as it may be miscible liquids, or from partially miscible liquids, or from immiscible liquids. There is a difference between distillation and evaporation. In case of evaporation, concentrated product is the main product. After evaporation, we are getting concentrated product, but in case of distillation, we are getting a liquid product. In case of evaporation, there is no process is taken place to separate the vapors, but in this case vapors are separated from a mixture of liquids. Okay. Now, distillation, as I have explained in previous slide, it is a two-step process. क्या है? Step 1, converting the liquid into vapor phase, and step 2, transferring this vapor phase to another place and recovering the liquid by condensation process. Okay. The feed liquid, it is called as a distillant. That means, the liquid which is introduced into the distillation apparatus or which is to be distilled, that liquid is called as distillant. Condensed liquid, the final product or the liquid which is collected in the receiver after condensation, that is called as distillate or condensate. So, one is distillant and the another liquid is the liquid which is evaporated, that is distillant, and the after condensation whatever the product we are getting into the receiver, that is called as distillate or condensate. Now, applications of distillation. The principle of distillation can be used in separation of volatile oils. कहाँ हम यूज़ कर सकते हैं? volatile oils को separate करने के लिए distillation principle को यूज़ कर सकते हैं. और कहाँ कर सकते हैं? Purification of organic solvent. It can also be used for purification of organic solvents. Separation of drugs obtained from plant and animal sources can also be done by using this principle of distillation, by using the principle of distillation. Manufacturing of official preparation. Official preparation means those preparations which are included in the official monograph. So, manufacturing of those preparations also involves distillation process. Refining of petroleum products can be done by applying this principle of distillation, that is rectification. After distillation, the solvent which are used, that can be recovered. So, these are some applications of distillation process. Now, some basic laws behind the distillation process is, first one is Raoult's law. What is Raoult's law? Raoult's law, it states that at any particular temperature, the partial pressure of one component of a binary mixture is equal to the mole fraction of that component multiplied by its vapor pressure in pure state at this temperature. That means, partial vapor pressure of a liquid is equal to vapor pressure of pure liquid into mole fraction of the liquid. What is that? As per Raoult's law, partial pressure of a liquid is equal to the mole fraction of liquid multiplied by vapor pressure of liquid in pure state. So, Pa is equal to Pa 0 into X A. Okay. Here is a diagram of binary mixture is showing two liquids are there, that is, this is the total pressure, this is partial pressure of one component, this is partial pressure of second component. So, partial pressure of one component is equal to vapor pressure of pure liquid into mole fraction of that liquid. Now, ideal solution, simply those solutions which obeys Raoult's law are called as ideal solution. So, solution that obeys Raoult's law is called as ideal solution. It is also defined as the solution in which there is no change in the properties of components other than dilution when they are mixed together to form a solution. That means, no change in the properties of components. If two components are mixed together to form a solution, then there will not be any change in the properties of those two components, then the solution is called as ideal solution. In simple, we can say that those solutions which obeys Raoult's law, that is called as ideal solution. Examples of ideal solution are benzene and toluene, N-heptane and N-hexane, ethyl bromide and ethyl iodide. These are some examples of ideal solution. In this case, the total pressure is equal to the sum of partial pressures of all the components present in it. So, P is equal to Pa plus Pb. So, the total pressure curve in this case will be a, in case of ideal solution, is a straight line. This is partial pressure, it is also a straight line. This is partial pressure of other component, it is also a straight line, and the combination of these two, that is also a straight line, that is total pressure. So, this total pressure is equal to the partial pressure of this plus partial pressure of this. Real solution. Real solutions are those solutions which do not obey Raoult's law. Okay. The solution which not obeys Raoult's law are known as real solution. This is also called as non-ideal solution. Okay. So, in this case, deviations are observed in case of real solution or non-ideal solution. This deviation leads to, why this deviation occurs? Due to uneven solute-solute interaction, or it may be solute-solvent interaction and solvent-solvent interactions. So, due to these interactions, uneven interactions between solute and solvent, or solvent and solvent, or solute and solute, deviations are observed. there are two types of deviation, positive deviation and negative deviation. Positive deviation. In this system, the overall vapor pressure is greater than the sum of partial vapor pressures of individual component. Okay. In case of ideal solution, the overall vapor pressure was the sum of partial pressures of individual components, sum of partial vapor pressures of individual components. But in case of this, the overall vapor pressure is greater than the sum of partial pressures of individual components. So, this change in overall pressure is due to the difference in polarity of the liquids, both the liquids, length of carbon chain of both the liquids, or degree of association of both the liquids. Due to these, the changes may take place, or the system shows positive deviation. Example is carbon tetrachloride and cyclohexane CCl3 and C6H12 and benzene and ethanol. These are some examples of real solutions having positive deviation. As you see in the diagram, the total pressure, it was supposed to be a straight line, but it is slightly from the upward. That means, it is greater than the sum of partial pressures of individual components. Similarly, partial pressure of individual component is also somewhat higher as compared to the original partial pressures. Next solution is real solution with negative deviation. In these systems, the overall vapor pressure is lower than the sum of partial vapor pressures of individual components. Okay. What happens? The overall vapor pressure is lower than the sum of partial vapor pressures of individual components, that is P is less than P A plus P B. So, if hydrogen bonding or salt formation and hydration, this deviation in this case, in case of negative deviation occurs due to presence of hydrogen bonding or due to salt formation or due to hydration, negative deviation occurs. Examples are chloroform and acetone, pyridine and acetic acid, or water and nitric acid. So, these are some examples. Here from the diagram also you can see that the total pressure is less than the sum of partial vapor pressures of individual components. That is why it shows negative deviation. Here also you see the partial pressure is actually less than the sum of partial pressures of individual components. That is why this solution is called as real solution with negative deviation. Negative deviation, it is lower than the it is lower. In case of positive deviation, it is higher. Volatility. The volatility of any substance in a solution may be defined as the equilibrium partial pressure of substance in which vapor phase is divided by the mole fraction of the substance. So, volatility of a component A, that is it is denoted as V A, that is equal to partial vapor pressure of component A divided by mole fraction of A in solution, that is P A by X A. Now, the next topic comes boiling point diagram of a binary mixture. Okay. So, in this case, in the next slide we will see a diagram of boiling point of a binary mixture. So, two liquids are taken, liquid A and liquid B. Both the liquids having different temperature, that is liquid A has having boiling point T A, liquid B is having boiling point T B. So, both these liquids are taken in a chamber at of constant pressure. Boiling point diagram, in boiling point diagram temperature are plotted as ordinates and composition as abscissa. Let us have a look on the diagram. So, this is the diagram of boiling point of a binary mixture. So, here component A is the composition of component A is 0%, here the composition of component A is 100%. So, this line shows the mole percent of composition of component A as well as component B. As we move in this direction, the quantity or composition of component A increases from 0 to 100 and composition of B decreases from 100 to 0 as we move in this direction. Here B is 100%, as we go in this direction it goes to 0. This line indicates temperature, this indicates temperature of component B, this side it increases temperature of component A. As it has been explained in previous slide, pressure is constant in this case. So, there are different diagrams, curves, this is one curve, this is another curve. So, two curves are there, one is called as vapor curve, liquid curve and mixture. So, this diagram, this boiling point diagram, it consists of two curves, okay, as I have explained in previous case. These curves, the ends of these curves coincide with the boiling point of two component. So, this is one curve, this is another curve, the end of two curves, this coincides at this point, this is T A, and here it again coincides and this point is T B. So, T B is the boiling point of component B, T A is the boiling point of component A. The upper curve means this curve, the upper curve it represents the vapor composition curve, okay, and lower curve, this one, it represents the liquid composition curve. That means, at different points of this curve we can determine the what is the composition of component A and composition of component B at which it remains in vapor phase. So, at let us consider a temperature T. Okay. So, at any temperature T, if we will mark at this point, what happens? It if we draw a horizontal line parallel to this axis, what happens? It cuts the curve at point D and at point E, which it cuts the vapor curve at point E and liquid curve at point D. From both these points, if we will draw a perpendicular line in this direction, it cuts this axis at a point x and point y. Okay. So, at any temperature T, the horizontal line cuts the vapor composition curve at point E, which has been explained, which corresponds to a vapor composition of Y, that is mole percentage A, mole percentage of component A. That means, at this point what is the composition of component A and simultaneous composition of component B, which leads to above which the curve this occurs in or remains in vapor phase. Okay. And the same horizontal line cuts the liquid composition curve at point D, at this point, that is which corresponds to liquid composition of X at point X, that is X mole percentage of A, as it can be found in this position. Okay. So, any two points on the same horizontal line such as D and E represents the composition of liquid and vapor in equilibrium at any temperature T. If we will draw another line at temperature T1 from this point, it will again as a horizontal line like this, it will cut the curve at this point and at this point. From here also you can draw a perpendicular line like this. So, M, N, O and P. So, in this way if we will draw any line parallel to or horizontal line which cuts the liquid composition curve and vapor composition curve at two different points, from there if we will draw a perpendicular, it corresponds to like M and N, it corresponds to the mole percentage component of A. So, accordingly we can determine the different composition of component A as well as component B. Okay. So, finally, from this boiling point diagram of this binary mixtures, what conclusions can be drawn? Okay. So, for all the points, or we can say that at any place above this line, which line? This vapor composition curve line. For any points above this line, that is vapor composition curve, this results in a in this case above this line the mixture is entirely a vapor phase, the mixture remains entirely in vapor phase. Okay. For any point, if you will consider all the points below this bottom line, that means below the liquid composition curve. For any points below this liquid composition curve, That means, if you will take a point like this point B or point here, here, at any place if you will take a point below this liquid composition curve, that this entirely system or the composition remains in liquid phase, composition is completely liquefied. Okay. If you will take a point like C, point number C, that is in between this liquid composition curve and vapor composition curve. That means, at any point between this liquid composition curve and vapor composition curve, like this, anywhere, if you take any point between these two lines, that is point number C, any point or at any place between these curves, if we will take a point, then the system consists of partly of liquid and partly of vapor. That means, depending upon the composition, it is a mixture of liquid and vapor. Suppose that component B is having boiling point at this position. So, below this and component A has boiling point T A. So, between this T A will be in vapor phase, T B will be in liquid phase. So, between these two lines, if we will take any point in this composition, then both the vapor phase and liquid phase exists. Okay. Example of this binary mixture diagram is benzene and toluene, can be taken, water and methanol mixture can be taken as, carbon tetrachloride, CCl4 and cyclohexane. These are the some examples of binary mixtures. So, the boiling point of these compositions are comes like are having the diagram of this type. So, one thing that is kept in your mind while drawing this boiling point diagram is that in these cases pressure is always, you have to keep the pressure constant, so that there will not be any change in the boiling point of both the components or boiling point of both the pure components. So, this was about brief basics about distillation, what is distillation, what are the applications of distillation, then what are the laws, that is Raoult law that is used in distillation, ideal solution, real solution or non ideal solution, and finally, boiling point diagram of a binary mixture. Thank you.